Today's topic is
the basics of basing.
Naturally. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to Waypan. I'm Cal.
I'm Sunny. Today we're diving into the foundations of basing. We'll show you how to build 6 different types of naturalistic bases.
Now, personally, I find it so easy to do basing, and I promise with a couple of tricks it will feel that way for you too. If you just remember 2 principles and adopt 2 simple mindsets, basing becomes ridiculously easy.
The principles are largest first, smallest last.
Layer your materials like you would your paints.
And the 2 mindsets?
Patience is key.
And think broadly. No brand loyalty, look at materials outside of the hobby space, and so on.
That's it. If you internalize those, you're already ahead.
In this video, we'll show you how to get an infinite supply of graded sand.
Make your own texture paste or Calador's creme.
And create scatter materials using stuff you probably already have.
These materials are absurdly cheap.
If you use them the way we suggest. Now, for some people stuck in the buy everything from the hobby store mindset, this might feel like a bit of a lateral move.
But for most of you, you'll probably just nod and go, yeah, duh. So here's what we're covering. A scrubland or Australian outback base.
An Asian-themed or bamboo forest base.
A temperate or European forest base. It can even be used for meadows.
A tundra or highland base.
And a tropical jungle or rainforest base.
Feel free to skip ahead to the style you want, but first, we're going to walk you through the core materials.
So let's get started. Infinite sand. Get all the hobby sand you'll ever need from 2 items. Coarse sand.
And interchangeable sieves.
Get yourself 5 takeaway containers. Sieve the sand.
Largest first. Put the large rocks in the largest. Pour into the next one down.
Change the sieve.
Then go each grade down. Now for the marriage-saving device.
Calador's cream.
Stop paying too much for texture paste.
Introducing Calador's cream.
You only need 3 items: PVA glue, grated sand, and craft paint.
Don't know how to get grated sand? We've got a short on that too.
Mix together your medium grade and medium fine grade sand together. This will give you the approximation of regular texture paste.
You can mix different varieties of sand to get different appearances. Get your PVA and mix in until creamy.
Get some craft paint, mix it in, and get the color of your choice.
And it's that simple. That's all you have to do. That's Calador's cream.
3 easy steps and you'll never have to buy texture paste again.
Forest floor scatter.
Here's how to make your own forest floor scatter.
Start by collecting some natural materials, barks, twigs, and dried leaves. Make sure that they're dry and not freshly fallen.
Next, bake them in the oven at a high heat for a short period of time. This step is important for removing any parasites or fungal spores.
Once these materials have cooled, place them into a food processor or blender. We're using an old one.
Pulse the materials a few times until you've broken them down into small pieces. You'll likely have some larger pieces on top. Remove those.
What remains is your plain forest scatter. You can store it in a container and use it as is.
To create a mixed forest scatter, start with your plain base and add other dried, non-living materials. This could include things like the contents of a tea bag, dried herbs, or crushed pepper.
Avoid using anything living or untreated. Make sure that any additions are commercially dried or sterilized.
Mix the materials together thoroughly. You now have a versatile mixed forest floor scatter ready for basing.
Australian or scrubland.
Next, let's go over how to build an Australian outback or scrubland base.
Here's what you'll need.
Brown Calador's creme, our homemade texture paste.
Plain forest floor scatter.
Mixed forest floor scatter.
Light grey pigment powder.
Burnt umber and orange pigment powders.
Large straw or beige tufts.
Begin by applying your texture paste evenly across the entire base.
Next, add your plain forest scatter sparingly.
Then apply your mixed forest scatter over the same area. Let everything dry completely before moving on.
Once dry, apply light grey pigment powder onto the areas with the forest scatter. Make sure not to cover all of the brown underneath.
Now apply burnt umber pigment powder to the remaining areas. Again, leave some of the brown base showing.
Finally, use the orange pigment powder to highlight the rest. Don't fully cover the burnt umber or brown underneath.
Finish by placing the large straw or beige tufts in the forested sections of the base.
That completes your Australian scrubland base. Asian or bamboo forest.
How to make an Asian-themed or bamboo forest base.
You'll need the following materials.
Brown Calador's creme, our homemade texture paste.
Plain forest scatter.
Mixed forest scatter.
Dried parsley and oregano.
And decorative bamboo, such as from a toy or model kit.
We got these from Temu, but I did paint them.
Begin by applying your texture paste evenly across the base.
While the paste is still wet, apply your plain forest scatter.
Then add your mixed forest scatter. Leave a bit of space between clusters.
Apply the dried parsley and oregano to add leaf texture and variety.
Let everything dry completely.
Once dry, gently knock off the excess material from the base.
Now prepare your bamboo. Cut it to size using sturdy hardware clippers, not hobby clippers.
If the bamboo has a metal rod inside, push or pull that out a little first for easy gluing.
Drill holes into the base where you want the bamboo to go.
Apply superglue to the holes and carefully insert the bamboo pieces.
Place the bamboo near the edges or where it feels most natural.
Your Asian theme or bamboo forest base is now complete. Tundra or Highland.
Now we'll show you how to make a Tundra or Highland style base.
Here's what you need.
2 tubs of Calador's creme, our homemade texture paste, 1 in grey, 1 in brown.
Corks for rock.
Short green basing tufts.
Flower tufts, optional.
Sandy or earthy pigment powders for tonal variation, optional.
For Tundra bases specifically, you'll also need AK Interactive Snow Slurry, a crystallized snow material, and AK Interactive Snow Micro Balloons.
We're not brand loyalists. If you prefer other products that achieve the same result, that's perfectly fine.
But one thing to keep in mind, cork is very absorbent, so if you don't seal it with the texture paste, it will soak up your hobby paints and primer. That means more coats, more product used, and more money wasted.
Start by supergluing your cork into a natural-looking arrangement. Wait until it's completely set.
Once dry, apply grey Calador's cream over the cork. This seals the cork and adds texture to the surface.
Let that layer dry fully, then apply brown Calador's creme selectively over other areas of the base.
After it dries, dry brush the entire base with a tan colour. We use Xandri dust. Also dry brush the rock with a lighter grey.
Next step, optional, apply your sandy or earthy pigment powders across the base to enhance variation and depth. Do this if you feel the textured areas look slightly glossy.
Place moss-coloured tufts on and around the cork.
Then add grass tufts in the open spaces you left bare earlier.
If you'd like to add flower tufts, now is the time.
For a Highland base, you can stop here or paint some of the larger texture paste areas as stone and you're done.
For a Tundra base, we add snow.
Apply your snow slurry, thinned slightly with water so it flows between gaps. Focus on the empty spaces.
Then apply a thin coat of PVA glue over the top of your texture paste. Sprinkle crystallized snow material over the top.
Use a very thin coat of PVA over plants, grasses, and the tops of rocks as well.
Finally, add your snow micro balloons sparingly for added texture and depth.
Your Tundra or Highland base is now complete.
Swamps or marshlands.
How to make a marshland or swamp base.
Here's what you'll need.
Brown Calador's creme, our homemade texture paste.
Plain forest floor scatter.
Mixed forest floor scatter.
Grey pigment powder.
Green-brown pigment powder.
Water effect material.
Sticks and twigs.
First, apply a generous amount of texture paste to your base.
Then create deep divots in the paste, heavy divots if possible. These will be important for the next step.
Push the twigs or sticks into the base to create what looks like sunken logs while the paste is still wet. Then apply the forest floor scatter across the base.
Then apply mixed forest floor scatter over that.
Apply more forest scatter again to cover and blend.
Wait for the base to dry. Once dry, tap off the excess material.
Apply a mixture of grey and green-brown pigment powders to reduce vibrancy.
Mix green-brown pigment powder with water to create a mud effect.
Apply liberally. Wipe away the excess with anything that won't leave marks.
Take your sticks or twigs and break them to size. Drill holes into the base and glue them in place. Let dry.
Add the water effect of your choice into the divots and holes.
We used clear UV resin and cured it under a lamp. Any water effect material is fine.
At this stage, the base is complete.
However, we received feedback that, although it looked accurate, it felt flat.
Our goal is verisimilitude, the feeling of reality, not literal realism.
So we added swamp-themed tufts to the base.
Now your base is complete. Jungle or rainforest?
How to make a jungle or rainforest base.
Here's what you need.
Brown Calador's creme, our homemade texture paste.
Plain forest floor scatter.
Mixed forest floor scatter.
Dried parsley and oregano.
Moss tufts.
Paper plants, we're using the ones from Gamer's Grass.
Sticks and twigs.
A water effect material of your choice.
Optional, rocks. First, apply Calador's creme across the whole base. Be liberal with it and create small divots as you go.
While the paste is still wet, push your sticks or twigs into place to act as sunken logs. Use the texture paste to partially cover them.
Optionally, you can push some rocks in now. Next, apply a light scattering of plain forest scatter.
Then apply mixed forest scatter over that. Follow with a light scattering of the plain forest scatter to help blend.
By the end, you should see very little of the Calador's cream showing through.
Leave the base to dry completely.
Create a mixture of water and PVA glue.
First, lightly dab clean water onto the dried base to create a thin film.
Then apply the watery PVA mixture over the top. If you skip the water step, the PVA may clump or pull up the scatter.
Leave to dry again. Once dry, tap off any loose material.
Now place your moss tufts around the logs and on top of them as needed.
Prepare your paper plants. A variety works best. Drill a hole into the base for each plant.
Make sure each plant is fully assembled before placing. Apply super glue to the hole and press the plant into place. This helps the paper plant stand more upright.
Leave the glue to dry completely. Once dry, you can carefully adjust the paper plant leaves for a better shape and direction.
Finally, add your water effect into the small divots you created earlier.
We're using UV resin, cured with a curing station, but any water effect material is fine.
Now your jungle or rainforest base is complete.
Remember the mindset of think broadly.
Paper plants are not your only option.
You could use aquarium plants.
Or you could use miniature plastic plants.
There are many other options you could use if you so desired.
Remember, think broadly.
European, temperate forest or meadows.
How to make a temperate forest or meadow base suitable for European-style environments.
Here's what you'll need.
Brown Calador's creme, our homemade texture paste.
Small tufts.
Moss tufts.
Static grass. Darker tones are preferred over more vibrant ones.
Slate or scale-appropriate rocks.
Sticks and twigs.
Plain forest floor scatter.
Mixed forest floor scatter.
Optional, flowers. Sandy or earthy pigment powder.
Optional, a skull, because it's Warhammer.
Begin by applying Calador's creme across the base as desired. Leave some areas bare.
Superglue rocks onto those bare areas. Push sticks and or twigs into the texture paste to act as logs.
Apply plain and mixed forest scatter around the logs.
Wait for the base to dry.
Once dry brush the texture paste areas with a tan color. We used Xandri dust.
If anything is still looking glossy after dry brushing, you can reduce the shine with a small amount of sand-colored pigment powder. Apply sparingly.
Now place moss tufts, small tufts, and optional flowers in appropriate areas.
Flowers can be placed in some of those bare patches left earlier.
Once all tufts and details are in place, add static grass to the remaining bare areas.
After it dries, add a layer of PVA glue over the static grass and add a second layer of grass on top.
If you're creating a meadow base, you're done at this stage.
If you're creating a European or temperate forest base, add leaf scatter of your choice to finish.
Now the base is complete.
Secret level.
How to create convincing looking waterways.
Here's what you'll need.
Fine grade sand.
PVA.
Your other basing materials.
And a hollowed or pre-made base.
Make your base as per normal on either side of the waterway, leaving a large gap in the middle.
Apply a thin layer of PVA and then apply the fine sand. Wait for it to dry, then apply a thin layer again and apply the fine sand until you cannot see the black of the base underneath.
Apply a water effect over the sand. You may need to do this in multiple layers rather than one large layer.
Add your various base extras if they're required for this stage.
Your base is complete at this stage, unless you want a murky looking waterway.
If that's the case, what you do is instead of adding sand, you add your normal basing materials and then add your water effect. Conclusion. We've covered everything from tropics to tundra.
And we didn't make a single grass pun.
Pro grass, if you ask me.
But seriously, if you feel like we didn't waste your time,
please share this. That's the best way you can help us.
If you want more on the philosophy of basing, stick around. We've got a bonus section coming up right after the outro.
But first, thank you so much for watching.
And please share, not just this video,
but all of the minis you've made bases for.
Tag us, post in our Facebook or members Discord.
Or tell us about it in the comments.
We'd love to see where your army's standing.
And as always, keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye. You heard us mention it before for the briefest of moments, but one of the most important things around basing is verisimilitude, the feeling of reality rather than reality itself.
If you nail the feeling, you're doing it better than the actual reality.
When talking about this, one commenter made a note. The best way to base is to caricature the reality and then scale it appropriately.
This is 100% spot on. The reason for this is because people aren't looking for reality.
Even if it was scale appropriate and 100% realistic, many people wouldn't even recognize it.
Notice how almost every single cartoon has a bovine skull in the introduction? This is to get us used to the idea of just how dry and barren this place is.
It's not the reality of the place, but the feeling of the place, not the reality of the place.
This is the most important principle we left out of our discussion earlier.
So remember this, and please remember the two mindsets.
Patience is key.
And think broadly.
That means think outside the Warhammer store.
And thank you so much for joining us.
You have a wonderful day.